How do you answer the current affairs interview questions? So considering that you might be watching this video 3 years after I shot, and whatever, if I give you examples of current affairs, they may not be applicable in the next even 2 days. So I'll give you general guidance on what you need to pay attention to when it comes to current affairs interview questions. And the first thing that you need to consider is, why do the interviewer or the employer, why do they ask you about the current affairs? So the main reason why an interviewer would ask you something which is, in the news, is they want to see, are you up to date, with what's happening, either with the company. For example, the company could be in the news. For example, I'll give you the example of Safaricom. Here we are in the year 2021. And I think the most notable thing that has happened for Safaricom this year, in 2021, they were granted a license to operate in our neighboring country, Ethiopia. So you'd imagine here you are a manager or a supervisor, or even if it's a customer care job, you're applying at Safaricom, and you don't know that Safaricom has been granted this license, and it has really made a big difference for Safaricom. So someone will not take you serious if you really don't know such information. So research about the company when you're researching about the company that you are applying to work for. Also look at what has been happening in the news, in regards to this company. And I'm sure you're going to find a lot of information. If you find that there's something unique that has happened to the company in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 6 months, then there's a high possibility that someone might ask you about current affairs related to the organization. The other current affairs question you should expect is one that is related to the industry or the sector. For example, we know, as we are shooting this video in 2021, is the issue of COVID, and some sectors were really affected by COVID. A good example being in the tourism, hospitality industry. So these industries, they were really affected, and people had to go home. They had to lay off staff, and some of them really struggled within the last 2 years. So again, if we are looking to get a job within the industry, then someone would expect you to understand the impact that COVID has had within that industry. Other industries have done well during this period. A good example, if you're in the medical field, many of them have done a very good job. If you're in the apps business, that's the logistics, home deliveries, they've also done very good business. Also training online, people also embraced online training. That's something also that has happened within the HR training, corporate training space. So I would expect, if you're also a manager there, or even someone who's looking to position themselves within those industries, I would expect you to know this information. Think also of digital marketing. It has also changed within this period. For example, even as we are having this video, we are having this shoot because, there was a time we needed to communicate with our audience, and because we aren't having one-on-one meetings, we saw that reviving and even starting other YouTube channels for our brand was really important. So you can't call yourself a communication professional if you don't know the impact that COVID has had on digital marketing. And lastly, especially if you're attending government interviews, whether it's county government or the national government, you need to be aware of the latest news. So look at the newspapers, even the blogs. What are they talking about when it comes to a ministry or a department, or even the government in general? That's very important. For example, in the last 4 years, I don't know whether nowadays we are speaking about it, there was all these issues to do with the Big Four agenda. If you are applying for a job to work for the government, national government especially, and you have no idea about the Big Four agenda, then it doesn't matter how well you're qualified. Someone will look at you and wonder, have you really been living in Kenya? And if you have, then there's no way you'd have missed on what the newspapers are saying. So focus on what the latest news to do either with the company, to do with the industry or sector, and for the government, look at the latest news and developments, whether within the political or even the economic side or affairs of the country. So those are the guidelines that you need to pay attention to when it comes to current affairs. And I'm sure if you do a bit of research and also you make sure that you keep yourself updated, then I don't see the reason why you can't be able to face the interviewer with a lot of confidence and be able to convince them that you are up to date with what is happening. So thank you very much for watching this video. On a weekly basis, we do have new videos where I share career tips to help you, whether it is CV writing, whether it's interviews, whether it's career growth, whatever you're looking for in your career to get to the next level, we're able to provide you with. So do subscribe, and I'll be able to keep you posted whenever we have new videos. Thank you for your time.